What's up, folks? I'm the Roleplay Gamer, and I like to party. Welcome to the character creation and explanation video for the Overlord. So, Dragon Cole, that's Dragon Cole with a K, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it, correct me if I'm wrong, has suggested that I try a roleplay whereby I actually pretend to be the character and, don't break character, as opposed to talking about the character. So it's like a proper, full roleplay. That you guys get to see. And this had entered my mind previously, but I immediately dismissed it, thought, no one's going to want to see that. But hey, at least one of you does, so I'm more than willing to give it a try, and we'll see how it goes. So there you go. Let's jump into it. The Overlord, I mean, it's a really awesome idea for a character, if I do say so myself. Like, it's not unique. It's stretch of the imagination, so I mean, it's not really something I can take credit for. But, I still love it. It's like whenever I can do the Overlord type character, and for everyone who doesn't know, the Overlord is your basic Saurons or your Overlord from the Overlord game series. Basically, this big badass in heavy armor who wields some sort of blunt weapon, probably a mace or a Morning Star or something like that, maybe a hammer. You can't see his identity, ideally speaking, and either is a wizard or dabbles in magic. So basically, your Sauron-type character, a master manipulator, and someone who wants to control everyone and take over the world. I don't know why, I just love that concept. And whenever I can roleplay that, I do. So I did a Skyrim series based on that, which you can't see. It was very popular, and people keep asking, when are you going to do the Overlord again? When are you going to do it? And I'm not sure. I'm kind of burnt out on Skyrim. I'm doing Skyrim videos again, but I'm sort of burnt out on the idea of doing the Overlord within Skyrim. It's just very limited, and it's very limited here in Path of Exile. I was going to say Path of Exile. Whoops. It's still PoE. Pillars of Eternity. I'm still very limited, perhaps more so limited. But I like the idea of, the challenge of trying to make the Overlord in Pillars of Eternity. So the Pillars of Eternity Overlord is not going to be. It's more like we're keeping the concept, the motivations of the character, but not necessarily the specifics of the class. So he's not necessarily a necromancer, that sort of thing, because necromancy isn't actually a thing in Path of... go on, done, say it again, Pillars of Eternity. Which is sad, but we'll see what we can do. So we're going to do normal, because we're not crazy, but we are going to do Trial of Iron. So one of the things with the Overlord, just like in the Overlord game series, is there's more than one. It's like sort of like once a generation, or there are generations of Overlords. So when one dies, another one will rise. It's just the nature of things. It's the way this thing works. And it was a similar thing with Sauron, like when you had Morgoth, Sauron's master, and then he was defeated, and Sauron, however you want to say it, took over and became the big bad guy, and then he was defeated, and then the Witch King of Angmar, who was let's call a spade a shovel here. He was the coolest of them all. I don't care what anyone says. If your name is Witch King, if that is your title, if you are king of witches, I'm sorry, but Sauron and Morgoth can GTFO as far as I'm concerned. I'm all about the Witch King. He rose up, and then he was defeated, and then Sauron came back. I like saying Sauron. Apparently it's Sauron. I don't know. I think I like Sauron better. Sauron? No, Sauron's alright. Anyway, that's enough of me blabbering. That's probably like 15 minutes of me just going on. Let's actually create this character. Obsidian Entertainment presents Pillars of Eternity. Brutal. Cool, so I figured I was just going to launch straight into the roleplay, but then I thought people, there's no explanation. People are going to be like, what is this shit? For people who, aren't familiar with my roleplay videos. And just for people who are, because I haven't done this sort of thing before. So I figured I better have this, this explanation video up for optional watching, just so that you understand what the hell's going on. And for anyone, we're going to skip this, just for anyone who is interested in what I'm putting into the character. Sort of like a behind the scenes kind of video. So we're going to be a dude. I feel like maybe there are female overlords, and I like the idea of having a female overlord. In fact, I really like the idea of having like ultimately, hang on, an all-powerful evil female villain. I like that idea, but we're not going to start with that. We're going to be godlike. A death godlike for the look. And it's going to play a little bit into the character. I'm feeling like, well, I'll explain in a little while. So we're going to be a death godlike. That's mainly for look. And we're going to be, I really wish I could pronounce this name. The Aumao, whatever shit that is. We're going to be that just to make us big and imposing. Okay, so I was sort of debating this for quite a while. Like, my initial thought would be we'll go wizard and like do heavy armor, which we can do in Pillars of Eternity, which is pretty cool. But the problem is, the reason I would normally go wizard is purely for the summons, but wizards don't actually have any summons. Well, they got one, but it sort of doesn't really count. They haven't got any summons. The real summoner race is the chanter, and maybe we'll do a chanter overlord at some point, but not just yet. Especially considering that I've already got an all-enchanter playthrough up on YouTube. Check that out if you're interested. Otherwise, like a priest would be a really good fit, I think. Like a priest of whatever that evil, cruel guy is, and I think that'll definitely be one of the first ones we do, but we're going to start with a Cypher. Partly because I haven't actually played a Cypher before, and partly, but mostly, because they are probably the closest thing to a magic-wielding warrior in the game. They haven't got any... They can use any weapon they want, but their attacks build up focus that allow them to cast quote-unquote spells or spell-type abilities, which is really cool. So it's as opposed to like a wizard that has per rest casts, so you can only cast their spells a certain number of times per rest. The Cypher can cast as much as they like as long as they have the focus, and they build up their focus by attacking, which totally works. That is the Overlord. The Overlord runs in with a mace, hacks around, then casts a few spells. And some of those spells work like surprisingly well. If you're thinking like Sauron, fully armored in battle, it's like, that's him. He's a Cypher. It's beautiful. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to go with Whisper of Treason. This imparts a bedeviling secret to an enemy that causes its allegiance to bend, charming them for the duration. How could we not do that? That is the Overlord. The Overlord is about oppression and taking control of people and stealing their will and stuff. So that's what we're going to do there. And we get one more. And I'm thinking... Hold on. Dazing them. We got a lot of like debuffs and like stuns and that sort of thing. But we're going to go with Mind Wave. Target becomes the object of a concussive blast of psychic. Psychic. Yeah, psychic. I get that mixed up with physical. Of psychic energy, suffering raw damage from the trauma. Characters in a conical area behind the target, failing a fortitude check, are knocked prone from the blast. That is amazing. Now, if you just picture like Sauron whacking people with his ridiculous mace, because it's not just him whacking, it's not just amazing strength, there's like some sort of force thing going on there. We got to do that. That's like, we're making Sauron at this point. It's friggin' cool. Okay, so another beautiful thing about the Cypher is there are only 3 recommended skill attributes. Attributes, not skills. So we may as well... Nope. Whoops. We may as well distribute them equally. So our might is 15. Actually. We're going for Cypher. We get +1 from being a godlike. So maybe we'll do it like that to have extra might to do extra damage. Because might equals damage and healing. And it get +12 fortitude from it. Is that right? Hang on. What does fortitude do? Resist attacks on the internal physical system. Okay. And intellect. which is area of effect and duration. That's going to be amazing. Like if you look at what do they call it? Mind shock or something like that, where we throw people back. Intellect is going to affect that, I would dare say. And dexterity, the how quick we can actually attack. So I'm pleased with that. We're going to be quite strong. So we're like the strength of a warrior, really, at 16. So yeah, let's go with that. Okay, where are we from? Alright. I'm not going to worry about what equipment, even though I love this costume in particular. We're going to be from the Wight that Wends, and... Are we? Yeah, okay. The first Overlord will be from the Wight that Wends. The first Overlord is the one who probably knows the most about the whole Overlord legacy, or not necessarily legacy, but like he's the first one, so he's probably going to have the most knowledge about what he is, and the others are going to be like, hey, what? There were Overlords before me? What is this? So we'll be from the Wight that Wends, sort of like a Song of Ice and Fire, Game of Thrones, White Walker, The Others type of vibe. Aristocrat, Drifter, Hunter, Merchant, Explorer, Laborer, I feel like Mystic or Drifter. Mystic seems kind of maybe a little bit too benevolent. Otherwise Drifter. I'm just looking at like the stats that it gives us. But we are role-playing here, so it might necessarily be... No, alright, let's go Mystic. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're a good guy Mystic who's going to be telling people's fortunes. We're just... just because we can see into the future or whatever it is, doesn't mean we have to use it for good. And we'll do like a... yeah, like a dark blue there. And we'll change... oh, man, I love that. But I think I might... No, we'll do this one. Yeah, that's the one. And, wait for it. Hope it worked. Fingers crossed. Yeah, there it is! Ho! I put this guy's face in, which is pretty cool. I mean, that's a fairly Overlord looking face. But you know what? Let's just call a spade a shovel here, and let's put the Overlord in. Cool.
Yes. Now I am the leader of the group. Nice and slow. Follow me. Steady does it. Follow me.
Yeah, right. Let's be stoic. And in keeping with tradition, the Overlord's name in Skyrim, at least I think it was. Hope it was. I feel like this is probably what I would have picked. Durak. Or, hang on. Wait, so with a two. Wait. It's 2 R's, 2 A's, and a K. That's my standard name for bad guys, and it's pronounced Durak. Man, I feel so nerdy right now. Like if I ever play Dungeons and Dragons, rather. I never have. I would like to. It's probably the name I'd pick. All right. And there we go, guys. So thank you for watching the explanation and character creation. You probably came to this video from the first episode of The Overlord. So if you did, go back and watch that video. Go on. You know you want to do it. If you've already watched it, thank you for watching that as well. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. It really does help. And I'll see you next time. Roleplay Gamer, out.